Easily add Chris Lord-Alge's legendary rock sound to your tracks with the Waves CLA Echosphere plugin. Use it on your instruments like your guitar to make them sound more full, or use it on your vocal tracks to create some space and help them stand out in the mix, or use it on a combination of things. I'm Zane, welcome to Simple Green Tech. I've included a link to the Waves CLA Echosphere down in the description so you can easily click on that, get more information on this plugin, or grab it for yourself. But right now, let's jump in and hear what it's all about, and then I'll get into the details.
DJ bring back, come on bring back, DJ bring back, give us that rock and roll. DJ bring back, DJ bring back, DJ bring back, give us that rock and roll.
Alright, I've got more audio tests coming up, plus I'll be going through some of the presets a little later on in the video, but right now, let's get into some of the details. The Waves CLA Echosphere is another plugin that's being created in collaboration with Chris Lord-Alge. He's worked with Green Day, U2, Nine Inch Nails, Bruce Springsteen, and so many more huge names in the music industry. He's also developed a sound that's sought after by many artists, and the CLA series of Waves plugins aims to bring that sound to you easily and affordably. The Waves CLA Echosphere takes a slap delay and adds a plate reverb, plus it gives you some modulation controls to give you an effect plugin that will help to create space in your mix and help things like your guitar solos and your vocals stand out from the rhythm section. This plugin, even when all zeroed out, starts with CLA's rock sound. You won't need to tweak anything to get it to start working for you. So let's have a quick listen to the default all zeroed Echosphere sound to hear what I'm talking about. Alright, so you can see I have everything at 0. This is the default settings. I'll even go in here to full reset just to make sure. And let's give this a listen.
I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin, blue and green and sometimes red, but you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife. She can't speak and talk, but she knows how to move when I rock.
All right, let's hear what that sounds like in the mix now.
I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin, blue and green and sometimes red, but you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife. She can't speak and talk, but she knows how to move when I rock.
All right, so that's pretty cool just with the default settings, but of course we're going to get into more of the settings in just a bit. But let's look at some of the controls now. So you can see we have the big input slider here, so that's going to control the input level, and you'll have this little LED here showing you if your input level is too low, too hot, or just right. And over here you can see the fader to control the slap delay and the fader to control the plate reverb. Plus you'll notice up here we have the HP and LP knobs for each. So that's high pass and low pass filters for each of the effects. And you also can solo the effect or mute it here. And you can also mute the effects by pushing in these buttons over here. You have the dry wet mix knob over here to control how much of the effect you want going to the output. And then you have your overall output level control here. And one thing you'll notice, if you click on these names at the bottom of the effect here, it changes the LED display for the controls for that particular effect. So up here you have your typical delay settings, like your delay time. You can choose the sync and change the values in here. The feedback amount you can control here. And then down here you have your routing. So if you want to use this in series, so you would have the slap delay feeding into the reverb, you would press this here so it's turned on, and then you would turn off the output over here. So now the slap delay is going to feed into the plate. If you wanted to use it like two effects, so the slap would be its own thing and the reverb would be its own thing, but they would still both go to the output, you would check the output and then uncheck the plate. And now the slap's going to go to the output and the plate's going to go to the output individually. And there's no wrong or right way. Try the different ways on every track that you put this on to see what sounds right for that track. Now let's just test it out to hear if there's a big difference when we switch this around. So first I'm going to start it in series so the slap goes into the plate, and let's hear how that sounds.
I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin. Blue and green and sometimes red. But you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife. She can't speak and talk, but she knows how to move when I rock.
All right, so it's not a subtle difference. It's very noticeable when you use them the different ways, which is why you should test it out on each of the tracks that you're using to see which way is right for that track. Another thing that you'll notice on each of these LED screens is this mod knob up here, and this is the modulation knob. And around the mod knob, you'll see that there's these block sections here. And each of these sections is a fixed modulation depth. And when you're moving the knob through the sections, you're controlling the modulation speed for that section. The modulator adds some motion to the output of the plugin. Use it subtly and it's going to add some gentle width to your track, or get more aggressive with the modulation and it's going to start to create that warbling effect. So let's try it out now. And I'll start it very low here.
I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin. Blue and green and sometimes red. But you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife. She can't speak and talk, but she knows how to move when I rock.
So now that we're on this plate LED screen, let's have a look at some of the controls that you have in here. So you can control the pre-delay amount in here. You also have the reverb timing in here that you can control. And then down here, you can see we have RT low and RT high. So the RT low setting controls the damping of the reverb in the lows, and then the RT high setting controls the damping of the reverb in the highs. Now with the Wave CLA Echosphere, you get a decent amount of presets to get you started. You have presets for guitar and presets for vocals. But don't be afraid to experiment with this on other sources too. But right now, I want to check out some of these presets on the sources that they're designed for. So let's start with Vocal 1.
I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin. Blue and green and sometimes red. But you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife. She can't speak and talk, but she knows how to move when I rock. I fell in love with an alien. It didn't matter the color of her skin. Blue and green and sometimes red. But you bet she always turned some heads. She fell to earth and into my life. This alien will be my wife.
Now, if you want to check out some of my favorite Waves plugins for vocal tracks, click up here, or click down here to see what YouTube recommends. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching. For Simple Green Tech, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.